si alguien me puede ayudar con esto. I was meant to swine, taste the same as I remember. Where are those who share the memories? Ok, parece que sí. Ahí va los primeros minutos. Como en caso de que haya alguien por ahí, o bueno, si alguien lo ha resubido, pues vamos a probar las nuevas misiones. Malditas. Siempre me pasa. A ver, a ver. Cuando no parezca estoy emocionado por estas nuevas misiones. Pero ya saben que mi voz no expresa muchos sentimientos. A no ser que empiece a renegar, ahí sí. Yo creo que voy a renegar bastante con el nuevo jefe. Ahí está. A ver. Ay, no. Si escuchan ruido de fondo son las gremlins de mis hermanos. Ojito. Ay.
Recently,
No.
the Adventurers Guild has received an unusual commission, and after careful consideration, we believe that...
Queremos que... Bueno, yo no lo voy a leer. Me voy a callar.
Indeed, as ever. I will spare the pleasantries then. May I ask if you two are available to help?
Obvio que
Well,
sí.
let me go over it briefly. Our client for this job is the Yashiro Commission. Apparently, Rift Towns are attacking the roots of the sacred Sakura nearby Mount Yogo in great numbers.
Rift Towns? On Narukami Island?
Yes. We are not sure where exactly these creatures come from. But this time, they are attacking in alarming numbers with great aggression and a clear target. The sacred Sakura is of tremendous importance to Inazuma. I trust you are aware of this already? Good. Then you can see that this case is very urgent indeed.
Is the Tenryu Commission aware?
Yes, and they are already taking action of their own. However, given that the sacred Sakura's root system is vast and complex, and faced with the unpredictability and scale of the Rift Town's attacks, they are finding it difficult to defend against them. Their main priority is to protect the civilian population, so they are actively looking to cooperate with all other available forces to eliminate the monsters. The Adventurers Guild is one of the key parties assisting the Tenryu Commission with their work. But so far, the combined efforts to combat the Rift Towns has failed to substantially ameliorate the situation. You have our deepest gratitude. Your confident response puts me far more at ease. I will mark on your map the areas where Rift Town appearances have been recently reported. I hope you won't encounter too much trouble overcoming them.
Relax. We'll be back before you can say Ad Astra Abasos. The sacred Sakura is in danger again, huh? Who'd have thought? Keeping the sacred Sakura safe was Kazari's greatest wish, and now these mangy mutts are trying to destroy it. Time to teach him a lesson.
Restaurant? That place isn't even worth mentioning.
Same mistakes over and over. Oh, try some creative cooking.
Rebooting.
Ah, sí, será un robot. Porque nunca puede ser nada un teleporte. Ahora mi pregunta es, ¿qué tan difícil irá a ser el nuevo boss? No lo sé. Se supone que los escudos de zombie no sirven para nada. Y debes tener un personaje Electro. Y el único que tengo bueno es Raiden y ni siquiera está bien armada. Va a estar complicada la cosa de ser cierto.
They're attacking the sacred Sakura! Stop them!
Give up. It's nothing. Give up.
Solidify!
Let's light it up. Incinerate. It's nothing.
Wow, there are so many of them! No wonder the Tenryou Commission needed help! Come on, Traveler, you can take them!
¡Ay, no! Ay, voy a hacer mi perito por las huevas. ¿Quién llega? ¿Quién llega? ¿Será Raiden?
Torn to oblivion.
Shogun? Wait, no! Could also be A!
It's you two.
¿Quién es? Shogun.
It has been a long time.
Es ahí.
We have not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryou Commission crisis.
Sí, en el tono se nota.
Okay, sounds more like A. It is you, right? You sure made short work of them! That was amazing!
I'm making early preparations for what is to come. Last time we took a walk around Inazuma together, I witnessed the way the world is today. I was finally able to comprehend some things that I had never understood in the past. Since then, every time I encounter an obstacle in my thinking, I find myself having the urge to spend some time in the outside world.
Makes sense. You must get super bored being stuck in there all the time.
Might I remind you that I am not here to amuse myself. Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. The most serious of these being the attack on the sacred Sakura by numerous rift hounds. I considered this matter worthy of my attention, so I pursued them, and they led me here, where I happened to run into you. If the Shogun rather than I were to discover them, yes, perhaps she would have left the situation alone.
Why?
Precisely. According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to be delegated, but rift hounds attacking the sacred Sakura. It brings back bad memories of that terrible disaster.
A disaster?
Yes. 500 years ago, a great catastrophe befell Inazuma. Everything was engulfed in a pitch-black fog, and monsters ravaged the land. Countless lives were lost, and this homeland that the people had worked so hard to build barely escaped being obliterated entirely. The monsters committed many atrocities on Inazuman soil, and the Rift Hounds were always their advance guard. Their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and teeth, and then call in even more powerful beasts. So you've heard of it too. That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall. Maybe to you, it seems like my response to these creatures was an excessive one. But an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this case.
Guess you can't argue with that.
Since we are both here for the same reason, let us work together. From the traces they've left in the surrounding area, there should be many more
Paimon feels so safe when we're in Ace Company. Having someone uber powerful on your team kind of makes you feel invincible, doesn't it? Oh yeah, after we've dealt with the monsters, we should ask her to tell us more about Kanya.
O sea que ella no ha estado a favor de lo que pasó en Kanya.
It's similar to the color when the sacred Sakura takes damage. Let's follow it. It should be this way.
¿En qué momento se les bajó tanto? Pues a ver, ¿dónde hay más rastro? Aquí, estoy ciego. A ver.
We are lucky. The damage is not too serious. The Yashiro Commission will be able to nurse the root system back to health.
¿No lo puedes hacer tú misma?
This stuff
Es un
is
Arconte.
glowing out. Is it sap or something? And how come it's glowing? Huh?
¿Qué fue?
Could they be dead people? It wouldn't be the first time we'd seen ghosts on our journey. But why would they appear here?
Let's search the area. Perhaps we will find out.
Está súper calmada ahí.
I can't go on like this. Not when the other troops are counting on me.
What happened here?
Who are you? What are you doing here? Run quick while you still can. The monsters will be back. And once you're in their sights, I'm telling you there's no escaping them. We will defend Inazuma until our dying breath. You don't know. Beasts and horrifying monsters are everywhere. They're merciless, ferocious, and they will devour everything in their path. Every last trace of humanity's existence, I tell you. They'll devour it all.
But look, none of that seems to be going on around
Desde el
here.
pasado, desde el
Not
futuro.
right now, but they'll be back. Look, get out of here. Now, there's no time left. The almighty Shogun is gone. So is Kitsune Saigu. There is no one left to rely on but ourselves. I don't know how long we can hold out for. But if we abandon our hope, then we've got nothing left at all.
Don't worry, I'm right here.
It's the Shogun? You're back. Please, we beg you. You have to help us. You have to save Inazuma. Only the glow of your supreme lightning can dispel this terrible darkness. Please, or the whole of Inazuma will be reduced.
Calm down. The war you speak of is over.
Ah, es del pasado.
Over? But what do you mean?
Look around you. The grass grows green and lush, and a soft breeze blows. This is Inazuma at peace, as you will no doubt remember. There are no monsters, nor is there anything else here that could threaten your life.
What? But how? Just moments ago, they were everywhere. I saw them tear my comrade to shreds with my own eyes.
Hey, calm down. Everything's fine now.
Huh. I think I understand. Oh, yes. We were right to place our trust in the almighty Shogun. As long as the Shogun is with us, Inazuma will last for an eternity. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, thank you.
Ya puede descansar en paz, ¿ok?
What's wrong with him?
Sí, ya puede descansar en paz.
Paimon can't even begin to understand what that was all about. But somehow, Paimon feels all sad and hopeless.
If I am not mistaken, what we just saw was a samurai's memory that was buried in the land. The sacred Sakura can absorb and purify the filth in the ley lines. After the Rift Hounds attacked, some of this filth leaked out through the cracks in the trunk and formed a physical entity. An entity formed with strong filth would be highly aggressive. But when purified,
O sea que capaz la
it presents in
Shogun
the form of a memory.
se va a corromper por esa cosa.
Purified filth quickly dissipates and will be absorbed by the ley lines shortly afterwards. In other words, it cannot exist for too long.
So the memories of the ones that died are all appearing at this moment?
Yes. That soldier was one of the many thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice. What he was describing just now
Dijo que la
was
Shogun
precisely the
estaba.
disaster that happened in Inazuma. Yes. Inazuma was facing many great crises at that time. Some were local in origin, while others came from the now fallen kingdom of Kanria.
¿Qué pasó?
The disaster in Inazuma caused me great concern. I felt that I had to step in before it was too late, otherwise it would spread to all of Teyvat. But my friend, Kitsune Saigu, reassured me that I had nothing to worry about. She would shoulder the responsibility of protecting Inazuma and mobilize all forces at her disposal to combat the threat.
Y murió.
I could tell that, although neither of us acknowledged it, we both knew that the road ahead would likely end in tragedy.
So, Inazuma was attacked at the same time as when the disaster happened in Kanria?
Chucha.
Indeed. Countless monsters suddenly appeared throughout all of Inazuma. In the end, Kitsune Saigu sacrificed her life to protect the people.
Así cualquiera se trauma.
I
Pues.
never had the chance to see her one last time. But I would like to believe that she kept her promise to me until the very last. But even then, Inazuma was left more devastated than we could have ever imagined. Those terrible tragedies left great wounds that are still felt to this day, both on the land itself
It's in
and
my
in my
heart.
heart.
Y
Yes,
su hermana, pues.
for the longest time, I couldn't bring myself to face the pain of that loss.
Habla, Giovanni. Juan Carlos Castillo, habla Dios, se te escucha medio muerto. Miko. No, pues que...
All my martial
No,
might was
ya
impaired.
sabes pues cómo soy.
Though I could conquer Tatarigami and vanquish monsters, I was helpless against the ravages of time.
¿Qué?
But after my clash with human ambition, I thought long and hard. Now I realize I cannot fixate on the past forever.
Obviamente, Shogun. Ya saben, gente, no vivan en el pasado, vivan en su presente y apunten a un buen futuro.
When I traveled around Inazuma with you,
Ya conocí
I caught a glimpse of how the nation
Ah,
has
exacto.
progressed over the
Ya fue a
centuries.
empañar el foto.
A glimpse of
Ah,
human
Alon.
potential.
¿En serio? ¿Qué vas a
Everything
hacer? Qué
far
roche.
exceeded my expectations. Moving forward inevitably invites further loss, but also,
Bueno,
new
supongo que ya es
encounters.
responsabilidad de tu mamá, pues.
Just think of that soldier. Despite all the losses he had experienced, he still chose to keep fighting for the sake of moving forward. All those who sacrificed themselves back then gave their lives fighting for a future.
Así es la humanidad.
Perhaps the future they were hoping for is not the eternity that I once strove for. As Inazuma's god, it is high time I honored their wishes.
Así es la humanidad, pero justo ahorita la humanidad está a punto de meterse en
Warriors
una
of the
tercera
past
guerra
who
mundial.
spilled your blood on this land, your noble souls now rest in this earth. I will never forget you and all that you did for Inazuma.
He's taking all this pretty hard.
Come on. Let's keep investigating the damage to the sacred Sakura.
La Shogun, o sea, su marioneta se irá a corromper por el cerezo, o porque como ahora ya no busca la eternidad y ya la dejó programada por buscar la eternidad, capaz ahora la va a ver como una amenaza. Toma esto. No interrumpas, por fin. A ver. Yo tengo para pagarle cada vez. Soy mi vieja, me dijo ayer que lo haga pasar y que me iba a dejar plata, pero no me dejaba ni medio. No estaba pasando, pero si la flaca es así. Lo que te dije, si la flaca es así, en cuanto otro más guapo le dé bola, se la va a levantar. No vale la pena pagar. Oh, serio.
As expected, there are a load of rift hounds here too.
Leave them to me.
¿Qué demonios? Mírenla bien porque ella va a ser mía. En unos 20 días que cambie el banner, sí o sí, la Shogun va a ser mía. No tengo lo asegurado, pero yo se lo digo y sí va a ser.
There is no escape. Torn to oblivion.
¡Uy! ¡La vi, aún!
Erase all threats.
Aunque sea, denme la bien armada, pero... enfrentar estos cojudos sin healer es complicado cuanto menos. Solo agarré así.
Something seems wrong with A.
Sí, lo que te dije, nomás así su choque y fuga, pero si quieres, ¿no? Porque si no, un poco, como te dije, tampoco te perderías de
Why
mucho.
would you ask that?
No, sí, se la veo así cuando no es que está cambiando de personaje así brusco.
All in one go. No?
You are unduly concerned. I'm simply conserving my energy. Although I have some understanding of the situation already, it could take an unexpected turn at any time.
Contexto.
I must be prepared
Lo
for
mejor
anything.
sería que, pucha, si tuviera
There are
más
more formidable
seguidores tengo,
monsters
pero no me ven en
lying
vivo,
in
pero
this area.
cuando lo vean van a tener
I
un
must make
chismesazo
sure
ahí
I
para
have
leer
the
en el
strength
chat.
to face them.
Chismecito.
Ah, makes sense. Spoken like a seasoned shogun. The roots seem pretty badly damaged this time. We definitely need to tell the Yashiro Commission about this. Hey, the same light is leaking out again.
Furuyama? Is that you?
Mighty Shogun, what brings you back so soon? I thought you were off fighting a battle in a distant land.
Ya.
Fighting
Ya
a
te
battle
leí.
in a distant
Sigue.
land? Sounds like this guy's talking about 500 years ago too.
Allow me to introduce Furuyama. He is a tea master and a member of my retinue. Though blind,
Paso el té.
Furuyama is unparalleled in his ability to appraise tea. He brews some of the very finest tea in all of Inazuma.
Ala, imagínate que la diosa de tu país diga eso. Ya acá.
Your Excellency, you shower me with praise undeserved. I have simply had the good fortune to be in Your Excellency's presence long enough to become acquainted with all the skills that are required of me.
Pues quién sabe. Diría que a lo mejor en realidad, no sé, pues, no sé qué tanto confías en tu primo, pero capaz es, no sé, a lo mejor ya son ideas telenovelescas mías, pero capaz le dijo que te diga eso, pues, para que te sintieras especial y caigas también, no sé.
It sounds like the Almighty Shogun has brought a guest. I'm afraid I'm unable to serve you any respectable refreshments on account of the current situation. But please, sit and rest. After all, it's quite a mess out there.
What should we do?
Sigamos la corriente, supongo.
Yeah. Sheesh. There's monsters everywhere out
Ve,
there.
habla, Brian.
Pitch black and loads of people have been injured.
I see.
Sería muy hijo de puta.
they
Ya
have
sabes
fought
cómo
their
pueden
way
ser algunas
this far
mujeres.
already.
Bueno, la gente en general, no solo mujeres, hombres también hay desgraciados.
Most of the residents in this neighborhood have already escaped. They wanted to take me with them, but it seemed rather pointless to me. So I decided to stay.
Sí, no te conviene meterte ahí. La flaca ya muy claro te ha dejado sus... de que te regala, chocho.
And now the
Sí,
Almighty
Brian, estamos
Shogun is
chismeando,
here,
ya
I
tú
have even
sabes.
less reason to run away.
Yo ni la
Imagine if
conozco.
this was something that even the Almighty Shogun was powerless to resolve. Where could I possibly run to then? People flee out of a desire to live on, and the desire to live on stems from a feeling of having unfinished business in life.
Pero este ya está viejo, pero ya no tiene para qué vivir.
I have no such thoughts, and I have no regrets. The Almighty Shogun often speaks to me about her dreams over tea. Just listening to her stories. I've been blind for many years, but her vivid descriptions took me on a splendid journey to all the most beautiful places in Inazuma. Over time, I've come to understand her mindset. Quite the romantic at heart, a true dreamer.
Romántica la Shogun.
One thing she always says is, good things don't last forever. Everything changes, fades, disappears completely over the passage of time. And so, people must make the most of the life they have. Seize the chance to
la
enjoy it while
rachita.
it lasts, and have no regrets in the end.
Suave, que con José María que quería cachar y eso. Suave, gente que sale. A ver, espérate, pero yo no.
So you see, as bleak as things may be
Juan.
now, I have experienced countless wonderful
Y
things in
Genshinsito.
life, and have no reason not to be satisfied.
Ese chamba y viendo directos y eso. Se cagó el wifi.
Perhaps.
Falta que te revisen el historial también. Sé que has andado viendo.
It won't be long now before I have to say goodbye to the almighty Shogun for the last time.
Full datos.
What a
Rico,
pity.
rico.
I'll never get to see what Inazuma looks like after the almighty Shogun rebuilds it anew. But I suppose it doesn't matter. Everyone says that Inazuma has turned dark now. But to me, it went dark a long time ago.
Ahora se sigo.
Once this catastrophe is over, life is sure to spring forth anew. But even if I survived until then, I'd probably be a hopelessly befuddled old so-and-so by then. So... Oh, goodness me. Speaking of befuddled, look at me rambling away to my heart's content and forgetting to serve the tea.
Ella no podrá currar su ceguera como la diosa.
A truly egregious loss of decorum. One moment, I'll just... Where in the world is the tea set? I hope the others didn't smash it to smithereens in their hasty departure. Really? But it's always been right by my side. Goodness gracious, I couldn't possibly have my
Camina hacia la
guests
luz.
fetch it themselves. That would be most discourteous indeed.
Ya.
Don't worry about it.
Avísame si
Take
pasa
a
algo,
rest.
pero se
We'll be
cuelga.
back
Vamos a...
right away.
Almighty Shogun, you're not going too, are you? No. Your humble servant
Pero
implores
no,
you
si no
not
todavía
with
te
the
está
war raging
colgando.
outside.
This place is...
Oh, mi chat se convierte en su chat.
It's quite unlike the tea house in your memories. Leave it to us.
But... Well, okay. I never thought I'd see the day that I need the almighty Shogun to personally collect my tea set for me. I can't decide whether it's a final regret or a final stroke of good fortune.
Where should we go to find a tea set?
¿Y de dónde chucho?
Having a cup of tea isn't exactly the most urgent thing to do.
Ah, su madre, hasta el otro lado de la ciudad
At the same time,
por un muertito.
I'm also feeling very nostalgic for his tea.
oh, why don't we go to the Kamisatsu estate? There'll definitely be a tea set we can borrow there.
Show como una diosa, no le puedes, no sé, ascenderlo al cielo y ya. Ahorita sea. Ah, bueno, está cerca. Tengo que ir al baño. Un segundito.
I shall protect the lady of the clan.
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few references. Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
I shall protect the
But
lady
where
of
are
the clan.
those who share the memory?
I shall protect the lady of the
Every
clan.
journey has its final day. Don't rush. Osmanthus wine tastes, but where are those who share the memory? Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
I shall protect the lady of the clan.
Listo, ya volví. Ya así el tanque. A ver. Vamos a ver la puta taza de té. Saldrá ya todo. No.
It's the Traveler. And the almighty Shogun. How might I be of assistance, Your Excellency?
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro Commission.
Oh, sure. I'll fetch that for you right away. Please step into the courtyard and have a rest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord about your visit immediately. Ah, and the tea set. I'll bring that here as soon as it's ready.
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I'd prefer to spend this time chatting with the Traveler. Please,
Ojo,
fetch the tea set at your convenience.
se me lanzó.
No. I am your humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal with it right away.
Well, it's not often we have the chance to chat. I'm sure you must have a lot of questions.
Right. Paimon wanted to ask that too. The almighty Shogun that he described didn't sound anything like you at all.
Era su hermano,
I
su...
seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent practicing martial arts. So, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea for was
Raiden
the former
Makoto.
Electro Arconte, who was also my sister, Raiden Makoto. He may
Makoto.
well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden Shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of it. The
Se
philosophy
supone que
of
ahora
life
ya lo
he shared
saben
with
o
us
sigue
just
siendo
now.
secreto. No me
That was
acuerdo.
Makoto's view on reality. She always saw things that way.
You and Makoto had pretty different views, huh?
Indeed we did. It was the biggest difference between us.
Pero ahora ya no.
In her eyes,
Ahora ya lo
the
entiendes.
most precious things in this world were dreams. The
Ambiciones,
yearning
o
for a
sea,
better
visiones.
future held by living beings. They are similar, but not identical. When you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky far above in the form of countless stars. This somewhat shook me. Now, it
Yo sé
seems
que
like
buscarte
she was right.
patrocinadores por anuncios. Es que ¿quién me va a patrocinar, bro? Si tú me encuentras uno, ya, pues.
Sure was a lot
Por ahora
going
nomás
Makoto
promocionen
saw
que
a bigger picture
en
than
WhatsApp.
I did. In her view, a dream is more imaginary, more abstract than an ambition.
Es que un sueño, pues.
An ambition
Un sueño.
is a yearning for
Ambición es,
something
ajá,
material or a
algo en
concrete
concreto, algo
outcome.
real.
It
El
is
sueño,
finite
pues,
in nature
es más.
and will be replaced by a
Como
new
que yo
ambition
sueño,
in
no
due
sé, con
course.
tirarme
Makoto was more
al
concerned
distinto y no
with
sé.
the force that drives humans to constantly generate new ambitions in the first place. It is something innate, rooted in instinct. In other words,
Algo
it is
eterno.
something eternal.
¿Ya ves?
That's
Todo este tiempo estuviste frente a la eternidad.
quite a lot to take in.
To put it simply, Makoto wasn't concerned about outcomes. I didn't understand at the time. How can we say that we are maintaining eternity when things are constantly moving forward and evolving? I suppose what it comes down to
Esa era la
is the
definición de eternidad.
definition of eternity she set out with. Yes, it does. I always thought that she must have grasped some elusive, arcane wisdom to arrive at the conclusions she did. But in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least, an elegantly simple one. Notwithstanding that it was also the more prudent choice, based on a more mature, far-sighted outlook.
Do you feel to understand her better now?
You have already witnessed his views on eternity, but now I no longer cling to what was lost.
Makoto
I
estaría
suppose
orgullosa.
that means our differences have been reconciled.
Almighty Shogun, I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for your excellency's use.
Todo ahorita está
It's
hecho de
quite
oro.
beautiful. Thank you.
Siempre
You
me
are too
señalan
kind.
risa en las
Humble servants
cinemáticas
of
solo
Sai
estiran
does
la
not
mano
deserve the
y
gratitude
lo
of the
hacen como si
Almighty
se les
Shogun.
entregara algo.
It's all good, sir. She's actually pretty chill.
Let us return. We ought not keep Furuyama waiting too long.
Bueno, igual no se va a morir, ya está muerto. No pienso caminar hasta ahí. Ay, cuánto tiempo ha pasado. El tiempo va dejando huellas en mi vida ya lentamente. Ya se murió. Maldición.
Where'd he go? He wouldn't have gone looking for a tea set himself, would he?
No.
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him for very long.
So we didn't even have a chance to say goodbye.
Eso poema más
The
dramática.
information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. The fact that we were able to meet him to begin with was a miracle of fate.
Yes.
Well, this chance won't come often, and we do have
Gusto-
to.
no
Perhaps
será
I should
mucha
try my
molestia.
hand at making us a pot of tea. I've watched Furuyama brew tea on many occasions. I doubt I should have any major problems doing it myself.
Pero esto no sabe cocinar. A ver si
The
sale.
tea is ready. Please give it a try.
A ver si le sale.
So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it. I'm not sure how to explain it. You're right. But the things we've seen today have brought back many memories for me.
Memories. Se murió ese Aren.
I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu, Makoto, and all the other friends who
Makoto.
I watched pass even further back. Back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation reasonably lighthearted. But now, I'd like to broach a heavier topic. If the events of 500 years ago not only robbed me of my friend, Kitsune Saigu, they also took Makoto away from me, for good.
She died in that disaster too?
Yes. She went to Conria alone, without telling me. Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her stead. But this time,
lo que pasó en Conria,
the circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind. Or perhaps it was more that she went ahead of me, put herself in front of me, so that I would remain hidden. Yes. It was too late. I arrived only in time to hear her dying breath. She had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point, so all I could do was enter into her mind. As far as you're concerned, it would be somewhere similar to the plane of Euthymia. It was there that we bid each other a final farewell.
aunque se te despediste.
I cried bitterly.
Pero si hablaron por última vez, ¿por qué no le dijo algo como que no la vaya a sacar? No empieces una dictadura por la eternidad.
Why did she go to Khan first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me? It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity. As a testament to that decision, I saved her realm of consciousness just before it collapsed completely, and brought it back to Inazuma.
That's quite a story.
When I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find it on Mount Yogo. That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. That it had existed since time immemorial. They were so matter-of-fact about it, and couldn't at all understand what I was so surprised about. No one questioned it. And yet, its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. It seemed as if I was the only one to have noticed it appear suddenly out of thin air. In the end, I simply had to accept that it was a miraculous effect of Makoto's consciousness. With the help of the sacred Sakura's power, I was finally able to overcome the monsters and quell the disaster in Inazuma.
This is all really hard to understand. Kinda beyond Paimon's level.
Yes. She had such a great love for this land, and for its people. In this respect, I still do not compare to her. I once told myself that I would never speak of these events again. Facing the fact that she is gone is unbearably painful. But even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue, once swallowed, leaves some sweetness in the throat. And it's time I came to terms with it all.
Oh, while we're on the topic, since you experienced that battle in person...
Brother? I had heard that you were looking for your family.
O sea, lo que pasó en Conria fue por los dioses
somehow involved in the Conria disaster?
de Celestia.
Based on what we've learned so far, it seems so, yeah.
Y que, o sea, Makoto seguro se enfrentó a esos dioses y por eso murió, ¿no?
By the time I arrived, the worst of the fighting was already over. And also...
les imaginen que fue el hermano de Lumina el que mató a el hermano de Raiden.
So, I am afraid I can't help you.
Oh, well,
Pucha,
that's a shame.
¿qué sería la dirección de
But it
Raiden?
can't be helped, I guess. Boy, both of you have experienced
Andas waifu y
great
Cableland.
tragedy.
With this last cup of tea,
Pero tú no estás con datos, ¿no, Ishispa?
Thank you, Destiny, for giving us the chance to meet again.
Madre, quiero ver interacción de Arconte, es que...
Let's keep following the traces.
Eso es todo. Ah, ya.
Very well. Based on my investigation so far, I believe this next pack of monsters should be the last.
Maldita sea. ¿Dónde está? Aquí. Ah, puro. Ahí hay más. A ver. Ya quiero ver el nuevo enfrentamiento. Quiero mecha. Pues está interesante la historia, pero pues quiero pelear, ¿no? Así reniegue. Ya había los lobos, ya déjame. De nuevo con Raiden. Bueno, cinemática. ¿No? Ah, no, no es cinemática.
Once again,
Texto.
please leave them to me. Fear not. Fighting is what I do best.
¿Qué te está pasando, güey? ¿Quién va a ser el enemigo? ¿La marioneta o la Shogun? O la E. ¿Qué está pasando?
Shine down.
Espérate, a ver qué. ¿Cómo está buileada esta? Para darme una idea. Ataque. Sí. A ver, su arma. Sé que pronto yo voy a estar así, van a ver. En 20 días. Pienso. A ella sí o sí me lo saco. Su arma va a estar. No, hacemos positivos. Me voy a sacar su arma sí o sí. Artefactos nobleza. Ya. Con razón. ¿Por qué no le pusieron su set de carga de energía? ¿Qué pasa?
I'm fine.
Te voy a decir, fin de mete televisiada Genshin que voy a andar en Suyana. Mañana, ¿qué hora te jalas de la red? Perdón, pues estaba jugando, no me culpes. No sé, a la hora que nos voten. O sea, yo salí ensalada de que nada, que a las 10 muy temprano, pero vas a ver que va a acabar plan de 9, plan de 10 y no dejan ni tomar trago, ya conoces a sus papás.
My apologies.
Don't worry about it. Just we'll deal with the mock.
¿Qué le está pasando a Raiden?
Look, that's the same light again.
Where am I?
¿Tú a qué hora te jalas? Faba, ¿estás acá?
Who are you? Almighty Shogun, you're here too. Are you injured, Your Excellency?
I'm quite all right.
Sus ojos.
Just feeling a little stiff.
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end. Come on, man.
Don't!
Danger is our duty, man. If we were the kinds to shy away from danger, we never would have taken up arms to begin with.
Porque Diego me estaba diciendo para traerme, pero esa cagada que no hay trago ni buenas placas. Ah, bueno, tú me avisas, pues a lo mejor no vamos juntos, pues. O como, porque sea... Ajá, eso te iba a decir, pues yo te llevo cualquier cosa. Diego me está diciendo... Sí, en cuanto vea que no va a haber ni unas flacas y aparte... No hay nada de lo que le gusta, no va a querer ir.
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak, we will draw on the power granted.
Más que bien creo que se lo dije, se lo puse, pues no sé si viste que le puse que invitó a todos los que le han gustado, le gustaron, le gustan o le gustarán. Oh.
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have high expectations for us. If the Almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all time is the moment for us to honor that.
Okay.
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
Nobody knew where your excellency had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found you. You're right here with us. Just the sight of you appearing before us once more
Aparte si...
reignited the hope in
No sé, como dices que por ahí hay algunos con los que no te llevas, no sé, vaya a empezar a ponerse la situación tensa, ya pues tú avisas. Somos uno. Porque yo, no sé, 30 personas, no sé. Siento que va a ser un lugar bien chiquito. O sea, mejor dicho, que va a quedar chiquito el lugar. No, ninguna flaca bonita. Eso te iba a decir.
You dare to hit me! Teamwork is dreamwork! Submit! Inadmissible evidence! Motion to compel!
Cámara, ven para acá. Ahí está. Soy demasiado bueno, no mentira. Mis builds están decentes, pero pueden mejorar bastante todavía. Estos son los primeros usuarios de visión, así con un diseño, ¿cómo se dice? Genérico.
Thank you all.
Are you okay? Maybe you should keep resting.
I'm fine.
Capaz.
I feel much better already.
Voy a ir haciendo mis teorías. Capaz se está sintiendo así débil porque como la marioneta sigue viva, le consume poder o algo así, no sé.
The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a few Rift Hounds this time. Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City and regroup with the General's forces as soon as possible.
When everyone sees the Almighty Shogun safely returning, their spirits will be lifted.
Mano, ninguna flaca, bonita y soltera. Yo voy a ir para comer y como te digo, imposible que no se meta a trago de esa fiesta con toda la cagada. Eso te iba a decir, porque he invitado puro huevón que se la pasa chupando. Los que chupan mal, o sea, que chupan cualquier tontería. Darwin, Aarón, Lavalle, el Isaí ese. En esa casa se droga, no sé. No sé, pero ya lo de siempre, pues ahí nos vamos a un ladito. Unos tienen visión a Nemo. El de acá tiene visión Electro y los de acá tienen visión a Nemo.
Just leave it to us. Fighting is what we do best. But the Almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the present state of affairs. Only Her Excellency can turn back the tide of despair and lead us onward into... The matter what kind of threat faces Inazuma, we will always place our faith in the almighty Shogun.
Thank you all very much. I promise you that I will create a bright future for Inazuma. I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, know that I shall be true to my word.
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as we live. With you leading us, we will claim back everything that Inazuma has lost.
Glory to the Shogun.
Glory to the Shogun.
Caca. ¿Por qué te metiste desde otra cuenta? No da likes en todos.
They're gone.
Esos son amigos, carajo. Hoy tu mamá llegó a los seguidores que habías dicho. No sé qué acaba de hacer por ellos.
It was both.
Sus
The
ojos
people's
cambiaron, ¿no?
sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. But in dwelling on the tragedy, I overlooked their splendor. The grief blinded me to how brightly they shone in their final moment. The result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their will. You could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless, because they are but